The Independent is reporting on some new findings about the length of your workday. They say a study has been released which confirms something that's been debated for years, that working shorter hours isn't just better for your health, it also makes you more productive. Last year, the Swedish government chose to fund a retirement home for an experiment that saw nurses working just 6 hours a day at a rate of 8 hours. So they were paid like it was 8 hours, but they worked 6 hours. The idea was to compare the nurses working 6 hours a day with a control group in a similar setting. One of the ways the study measured productivity was by comparing the quality of care each sets of nurses provided. Findings showed that over the year, the vast majority of nurses who worked 6 hours were actually more productive than those who worked longer hours. So they also go on to explain that the sick days were cut in half. So people took fewer sick days, fewer vacation days, just fewer days off in general. And then on top of that, their happiness level increased, self-reported happiness, 20%. That's a pretty big difference. So this goes to something I've been saying for a while. Look, we have modern technology, and we have the internet, and we have, to steal from Bill O'Reilly, we have the machines. The machines are taking over. And that could be a good thing or that could be a bad thing, depending on how we structure the economy and how we move forward from here, given the technological capability that we have. And we can harness this and use it for good in the sense that you give people more leisure time, but at least as of right now in the transition period, you still work, but you work for, maybe 1 day less or just a shorter work day, but the same number of days. And then happiness increases, leisure time increases, productivity increases when they're at work. And I don't see any downsides. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand I'm a hypocrite here because I work 12 to 15-hour days, probably 6 days a week. Definitely 5 days a week and then fewer hours for the 6th day for SecularTalk. And I feel like it's a little different when it's your baby and, you don't view it as much as work. But understand, I'm under no illusions. Like, I get it that not everybody is doing for a living what they love and what they want to do, and that's just a harsh reality of the world. So given that that's the case, wouldn't it make sense to try to give people more time off if they're working a job and they don't view the job as their passion and they don't view it as their driving force? So yeah, you would want to limit the number of hours and give them more time in their free time to explore the things that they want to explore and do the things that they want to do. And again, I see it as the humane way to go. It's crazy that today, with all the technology we have, we're not already there. Like, we still have the 5-day work week. You can be an incredibly wealthy society and have all these modern amenities, but it's like, okay, no, 5 out of 7 days, you got to go and rent yourself on the labor market for somebody else in order to try to sustain and continue to eat and live in your house. Some kind of fucked up with that system. Some kind of fucked up with that. And I think it's time to look at this, look at how we're doing it and reevaluate how we're doing it and make improvements. And again, in the long run, that might be literally people being assigned some sort of machine to do all the work for you, and then you just reap the benefits when technology reaches that point. But in this transitionary period, definitely the right thing to do is to limit the work hours. That happens to increase productivity, makes people happier, and just creates a better quality of life for us to take advantage of all these giant leaps that we've made economically.